We're back.
We're back.
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
So we were just talking about how you followed guidance from spirit.
Yes.
And that's sort of how your process works.
Yes.
And that is very similar to what's happened with mine. I kept receiving messages about starting the business, which I did. And then...
and you quit your job. You quit the job that
yes.
you had for 15 years.
Based on a license plate in a movie. I worked for 15 years in corporate America. I had, in fact, when I moved in here, I had a 6-figure job, expense account. They paid for my car. They paid for my phone. You know, it was a very cushy job. Sometimes I'm like, what was I doing?
What was I doing? Yeah.
But I wrote a note and I said, I was asking the universe, it's in my heart that I want to leave this job and really go off and do my own thing. So I said, I tried to find a sign that would be random.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, if I see the number 628, that, you know, like my birthday is June 28th. So I said, if I see 628, that will be my sign that it's the right time. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to keep a lookout. About an hour later, I sit down and I'm watching a movie, The Time to Kill, which is an old movie. I've seen it.
Yeah, I know that movie.
Yeah, I've seen it 100 times. I don't know what made me watch it that night.
Yeah,
and
I think it's a bad movie. There's never a time to kill.
Right. I don't know. I don't even know what made me watch it. I'm not sure, you know, but I was like, oh, I'll watch this one. And one of the opening shots, Sandra Bullock drives a Porsche into a parking spot and the license plate is 628.
Oh!
So I freeze framed, went back. Wait, did I just see that? Let me go back. Looked at it again. Yeah, that's 628. And so I wrote a note to my boss and left my job.
Wow. Wow.
And I have that photo, I have the screenshot of that photo saved on my phone. So when I start to doubt things again,
628.
I'm like, you literally gave the universe an order and I let go of how it was going to come about.
Yeah.
And an hour later, it was like, no, girl, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Wow. Wow. I had my share of miracles like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, you know, more like I'm at a point that I think I am doubting the miracles. You know, it's like I've been 5 years ago I was guided to start Parallel University, my school, and then I did that, and now I'm doing well. I'm doing Parallel University. Everything is going well, and my heart is like, I want to do something else. I want to do something new, and then my guidance said, over there, Pico Union.
I love that. And you didn't even really know Pico Union as like a place.
No, I didn't know what Pico Union was.
But that's when you know it's really guidance and not a decision based on fear or any kind of preconceived notion, because you didn't even know it was a place.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, all right.
Yeah. And I'm there, but then when I got there and when I have a chance to think about it, it fits all my, you know, every part of me. It fits going there, fits every part of me. The idealistic Pollyanna part of me wants to be there, to be with people, to work with people. I think for me, what the people at Pico Union, the working class people there, what they have over me is I just don't have that work ethics that they have. They work so hard.
We doubt our own ability to keep ourselves on track and focused and work hard, but I'm here to tell you, I see it personally, and you work extremely hard. It's just because you love it. And that's what this will be too. So I have no doubt that anything that you put your mind to, you're going to work just as hard as you did creating this beautiful place.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just,
I just love you.
I think it's just really scary to jump into something new, and it's really hard to leave. It's really hard to leave. It's really hard. Maybe I'm maybe I know a lot about my right brain. Maybe I know a lot about spirituality, but applying it, it's, you know, all the big talks I have is I'm just scared that I can't apply it. As I say that, it sounds so phony. Like,
does it?
I go into my little child when I'm really scared like this, and I just hate to see myself like this. I want to see myself as a great, confident, talented, amazing person, but I'm, at this moment, I'm this scared little girl. I can't walk out. I can't walk out of my house. I woke up this morning, guidance said, go and get one sleeve made at Pico Union. Yeah. I said, well, that's simple enough, but it took me all morning to get going, and it's now not even morning anymore.
Right.
It started at 4 a.m. and it's now like 2 p.m. and I'm still here.
Well, we'll wrap this up so you can go do it.
Oh, thank you.
I love you.
So, what is it?
I think it's just this thing where you have to have those days built in, and I'm learning to accept them. Yesterday was one for me where I was just like, nope, today is not the day where I'm going to get a bunch of stuff done. It's just not today. So what can I do to give myself, it's like my weekend, but I just work them into whenever my body feels like I need it.
Okay, so I did that. And January 1st, my guidance said, okay, sublet your house. And I subletted my house in February, in 15 days I have to leave. I have to go. So, like, why did I do that? I mean, I feel so pressured.
But you're giving yourself, I call them stopgaps. So it's like, you have to build these things in. Like when you're going through a submarine and they have the doors that go up so that if water starts to come in, they have like all of these little stopgaps so that water can't take over the whole boat. Yeah. That's sort of what this process is for you. So subletting your house is just a stopgap. It's so that you know what you need to do. It's so easy for us to talk ourselves out of it. So you're just putting up your little submarine doors and saying, okay, first I'm going to go to Pico Union. That was one door. Even if you wanted to go backwards, you can't. Like, this is just you pushing yourself forward in little steps, little subway doors.
Right. Awesome.
That's what I do too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Right. Right.
Stopgaps.
Stopgaps.
Over the past 3 years, I started in Chicago. I lived in Chicago my whole life, and I knew I wanted to change, so California was the change. So the stopgap that I built in was that I took a road trip with my 2 best girlfriends, drove out here in my personal car, and then left it here. I paid I paid for a month of storage at a hotel parking garage. It was pretty cheap, but I said, if my car's out there, I can't back out of that. So even though I went back to Chicago to go deal with my condo business and everything else, I left my car in California because I said that is my stopgap. That's how I know I will end up there. So, and same thing with moving here. I lived downtown LA for a long time. I knew I wanted to change, and I found this place, and the timing was all off, and it didn't seem possible, but I signed the lease anyway, and then I figured it out. It was my stopgap. The signing the lease for this was my next stopgap. So
you don't get like this back and forth, like your mind going, well, is this, like all this.
I get it all the time. I wake up with the anxiety all the time, and I just kind of have to keep figuring out how to just take that day in one chunk. So I've stopped my old life. I would look ahead in goals for like this month, this week, this year, 5 years from now. Here's my 401k that's planned for my retirement. Like, everything was about the future. And so I think a lot of what you've taught me and what I know that you practice as well is about the moment is now. So when I wake up and I have that anxiety, it's like, okay, what can I do right now? What can I handle right now that will help some of that go away? And sometimes it's just, oh, you know what? Normally I only do orders once a week, but I had this order ready to go, and I thought putting this together and sending it will make me feel productive today. I love writing notes to the customer, so I wrote a really nice note, and that this morning was sort of my anxiety buster, because I'm like, oh look, I'm doing this. I have packaging, and I make it look nice, and so that was my sort of those little steps that I build in sometimes just to kind of keep myself, when I do wake up with anxiety or being stressed out or whatever, it's like, what can I do in this moment? What's this moment telling me to do? And then I just keep building on it from there. And the next thing I know, I'm shooting videos out in the sunshine.
That's the great thing about you, that you are like, you've done it. This is not empty words. This is actually something that you are applying in your life and doing it right now. yeah, I feel like
Lots of thanks to this one right here.
I feel like I have, I've been talking up such a big game, and when it comes time for me to do things, it's just as scary. Just as scary.
Yeah, that doesn't go away. It's really folks like us that are doing it and that are taking that risk and scaring the hell out of ourselves. We're the ones who are going to be the trailblazers that give courage to people who maybe are on the fence about something. And that's what I kept telling myself too. It's like, this is something like, there's a lot of people on the fence about, can I leave my job and do this? And, if I can be an example of that, even if I fall flat on my face, I'm never going to regret not doing it.
Right.
I'm never going to be 90 years old thinking, what would have happened if I moved to California, or if I had taken that cute little bungalow with the banana trees, or, met Jenny, or I'm never going to have that regret. So that's the ultimate anxiety buster when you're like, what did I do? Just remember all those little things you wouldn't have if you hadn't have taken that step. So it may turn into something that's completely different than what you have planned now. Who knows what the universe has planned for you? But these steps are just your little stopgaps to keep moving you forward so that you don't ever have that regret.
Holy Christ. That is so beautiful, Beckee. That is like what I need today. What I need to get on my bicycle and go.
Yeah!
I'm gonna go, Beckee.
Do it!
All right, here I go. Okay. Thank you for inspiring me.
Bye, love you.
I'm going to Pico Union and get my
Sleeves made.
fashion bag.
Yeah.
I'm going.
There she goes.